Hello and welcome to Caching Waves. This is your Elliott Wave update on Solana. Now, if you watched the last video, we called a top here for our third of a third and working on our fourth of a third. So it's an area where we could expect a larger correction of this current waveform. Now, I do have eventual targets for the third wave around 143 and eventual targets for our fifth wave around 190. So let's go down to the micro and I'll explain the update in depth. Going to the 4 hour. This is what we were looking for. We ended up coming a little higher than expected. We originally thought we were going to get a pivot around 76. We did get an extension above the 200%, above 109, but nothing to be concerned about here. We just had a running flat, which made the pattern a little bit more bullish. As you can see, I talk about the running flats a lot in my content, but you can see the result of those right here in Solana. You get a more bullish extended move. We'll go down to the 1 hour and get right into the micro. But this is the area I'm looking at for our fourth wave correction. Right now, my price targets are between $60 and $85. Ideally, if this is the larger correction you see circled in blue, we'd come in this previous fourth wave area. We can find support right on the top, but I'd like to see just between 60 and 85, and we'll have to measure those moves as we come down in this move. It's really hard to tell at the moment because I have targets. That's the 382 is $60 there, right in the middle of the previous fourth wave on log scale. But if we're working on linear, our 382 is up at $85. I prefer the lower end of that just because we find support in our previous fourth wave of one lesser degree. But this whole range is open depending how bullish we end up being. We'll dig down into this area on the 15-minute. Let me get rid of those other ones for now. This was our final fifth of our third. Again, we got extended as well, came up past the 2.618. We were originally expecting a correction here that was a little larger and then hit up this, but we just went straight there. So right now, expecting a much larger correction. So knowing that, we'll use the rule of alternation, and we'd be expecting some sort of triangle, which starts in zigzags. We'd be looking for some sort of flat, which would most likely start in zigzags. So knowing that, and we need to come down to this range of 85 to 60, we can start to analyze what we think is happening here, down at the 15-minute level. So this is a wave A or wave 1 currently. In my point of view, we have zigzags, so most likely a diagonal. So if we label this as a 1, 2 down, that would be a very bullish count. But the fact that we know we need to get zigzags in a fourth wave, that's where it helps us in Elliott Wave. So I would be more likely to call this an ABC as a zigzag. We need one more wave down here. You can see we had a series of zigzags, ABC, ABC, ABC. So that's our wave A as a leading diagonal. And we're looking for 5 waves here in our C to have a completed zigzag. I'm just going to move that up a degree so I can count these out. And we'd be targeting usually the 1-to-1 for our ABC. Obviously we can extend past that, but that's what we would anticipate as far as the 1.618 as our standard. And we'd be wanting 5 waves down here. So it looks like we have a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, D, E. It looks like we have a triangle fourth. That makes sense. We have our third, fourth. Make sure there's no overlap there. No overlap between our 4th and our 1 up here of a smaller degree, so that's good. Make sure we did just pass the 50. Nope, we haven't. Sorry, wrong fib pull. Yeah, we're right at the 50 for our 4th wave of this 3rd. So it looks good there. So it looks like we need one more down to complete a zigzag. Or if you're very bullish, it would be a 1-2, 1-2. And that's only if we get this 5th wave down. As you know, I also always track B waves as running flats. It helps me out of a lot of jams if I can keep them in mind where they would be, and we're also in that area. So if we don't get this 5th wave down, this is only a 3 wave, and we would actually expect this to be an A still in the B, where we get a 1-to-1 measurement of this A, B, C if we got 5 waves up, and then we'd look for further downside. So this becomes a correction in itself, like so. Most likely in a parallel channel, like so. And we're right in that zone where if we got 5 waves up between the 1.236 and 382 extension of this wave here. So you pull your fibs from there, put on the 1.236, 1.382. So that's what I'm looking at. So looking for 5 waves down or this move up and continuation to the downside. So if we have a triangle here, that could be our first zigzag in a triangle to the downside. So you know, triangles can be many different corrective patterns, and they're hard to know what that they're filling out until they're halfway through. But we know we need to come between 85 and 60 for our buy zone, which is all the way down here. So if we have a zigzag here, I would more likely than not anticipate another zigzag to the downside for like a double zigzag, like so. So if ABC, ABC. And that would be the beginning of either a flat pattern where we come up and then make 5 down and complete a flat, a 335, double zigzag, 5 waves down to complete, come down to our $60 area. Or this ends up being a triangle and breaking to the upside. Sorry. Jeez. But I actually just use a triangle format. That's probably more helpful. Something like this. A, B, C, D, E. Obviously, I'd measure those out a little better as it forms out, but you get the idea. So we're looking for a flat pattern or a triangle, because we're currently making a 4th wave. We want to come between $60 and $85, and we want it to be in a series, most likely in zigzags. So we're not anticipating impulses. We're looking for zigzags specifically with the rule of alternation, if this is labeled correctly and we're working on a 4th wave. So that's one thing I wanted to share with you. Hopefully this helps you with your Elliott Wave journey. When you can start anticipate what you're looking for rather than just counting 5s and being a little bit confused about it. So I'm looking for this to either become a correction in the middle of a larger zigzag or another 5th wave down. We get a larger correction to complete this correction, and then we get another zigzag down. But right now it looks like that zigzag, if we hit the 1-to-1 and this continues for our 5th wave down, would be around $93, $94 before we would expect that move to be corrected and it would move between 382 and the 618, as high as the 786. So if we get this, our 1-to-1 move, look for a move up to this area and then another zigzag down. I might short this depending how good this wave count ends up being. Again, nothing says this has to happen. Elliott Wave just helps us get on the right side of the trade and find good risk reward trade setups. And as long as this plays out the way I'd like to see, where I'm comfortable with the trade setup, then I will take it. So as of right now, looking for this fourth wave to correct down to this area in either a flat pattern, triangle pattern, running flat, etc. We need more waves to pinpoint what is actually going on, but eventually we will get this trade to the upside around 190 if we get an extended wave up here to complete our third of the third in the larger degree on the daily, like so. All right, guys, so that's it for Solana. Looking for this fifth wave move down, or the 5-wave moves up and then a move down. But I will make sure to update this, especially if I decide to scalp it short. I'll let you know that I'm doing that. If you like my videos, you can check out my other videos. I'm currently in these trades long. This is my channel account. Started with $10,100 risk per trade. I put all those trade setups on my channel. All right, guys, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching.